Eagles crawl past the Lions. It was a game that had some positive fantasy football outcomes, but a snooze fest. Hurts was not good. A.J. Brown was not good. The entire Eagles team is just skating by, winning, doing things that other teams can't do, but it's not like they're getting the most out of their players. You know, that's the part that's crazy. Is they're such a super team. They're crawling past teams. Their defense is really, strong and solid and carries the offense a lot of the time. It's amazing how good this team is for being so bad on offense with having so many superstars on offense. They're just warheads sitting there unused, untapped. It's crazy. The defense is amazing, but the warheads on the aircraft carrier are not even working. They're not even in working order. It's insane. And Gibbs was awesome tonight. Goff was not great. JMO was strong considering the way Goff played. And then St. Brown there's a lot to be desired. We'll break all that down and more. Then we're going to get into the Week 12 waivers. We're talking about players like Sean Tucker needs to be on your mind. Tootin, we have to check on his injury. We got a bunch of other players. Kenny Gainwell needs to be on your mind walking into Week 12 waiver wire ads. It all starts right now. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now. File on in.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
If you want to partake in the building of this waiver wire list, put a green emoji check mark. I will not be seeing anybody's question because I'm filtering by that. A green emoji check mark and the player you like to nominate for the waiver board, and we'll certainly add it to the list if it qualifies. So green check mark emoji. If you do anything else, you're not going to be seen. You're not going to be heard. No one's going to know. The tree doesn't, if it falls in the forest and no one hears it, does it ever fall? Probably not. So you want to be heard, drop your green check mark. Christian Watson's definitely one. Michael Wilson. And then, of course, Emmanuel Wilson as well. We got a lot of players that need to be added. We'll go over that in a minute. As far as this game is concerned, let's pull up the stats and break it down. Goff, 1 TD that went to Jameson Williams, our buy low player one of our buy low players of the week. 488 and a touch. We knew he was going to explode. Been one of the top guys to go get for the last 3-4 weeks. 88 and a touch. We knew he was going to get more because Laporta's on IR, missing at least 4 games, 3 more games. Jahmyr Gibbs, 5 receptions for 107. St. Brown, lackluster performance here, 2 for 42. Gibbs had 12 totes for 39 yards. Monty, 6 for 27. Goff was the problem here, just like Herbert was the problem for Ladd and for the output of those players over in LAC. Same thing here. Goff is responsible. Granted, tough defense. I get it. Hurts was lackluster, even more so than Goff was. Hurts is just not. It's crazy because Hurts can have a big day. You know, he'll have a big day. We'll be like, okay, he's playing good. Credit where credit's due. You hear me say that phrase all the time with Hurts. When Hurts does good, I give him credit. I do. But he is such a mid passer sometimes. And he doesn't have A.J. Brown in his corner. A.J. Brown, and I said this on the Patreon, A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts are like a married couple at counseling, going through the motions, but neither one of them even wants to stay together. Like, they don't even want to work. A.J. Brown's running downfield, and Jalen Hurts is like, and neither one's even trying. They're not even putting in a full effort together on any one singular play. And Hurts is just, I have to say, when this tush push gets taken away, and they should just take it away now, it causes way too many problems. You saw when they were lining up, it was a disaster. They were lining up, and here's the line of scrimmage, and you have the offensive lineman here, defensive lineman here. Defensive lineman's hand is in the neutral zone. You got the offensive lineman knocking his hand, playing, pity pat tippy-tap, whatever, with his hands, just touching his hand. The refs don't do anything. And then it's a defensive neutral zone infraction when it's like they're playing, the offensive lineman's playing like pokey. He's poking him. Just play a little game of like patty cake with the opposing defensive lineman. And this refereeing is absolutely atrocious. Not to mention the end of that game when there's a penalty on a offensive, I would say offensive interference more than defensive interference situation. You got the refs throwing a flag laundry on the play when A.J. Brown had a little more to do with that scuffle than anybody. That was an awful, you can't call that penalty at the end of a game like that when the game is on the line. The refs are atrocious. And it's not the script. It's not Vegas. Stop with your nonsense and your conspiracies. This is horrible refereeing. This is referees at their worst, not Vegas controlling. These refs can't even get something straight. You think they're going to get an order from Vegas, correct? Like, the referee's got a call. Hey, this is Vegas. I want you to make this happen. The refs would blow it. The refs don't know what they're doing. How are the refs going to go ahead and take care of something and make some finite situation happen that's got to happen a certain way within seconds or certain plays, certain number of plays happening? These refs would screw it up. You're giving the refs way too much credit when you think that they can orchestrate anything. They can't orchestrate anything. That's why everyone's out of their mind when they think Vegas is controlling all this. You don't even know what you're talking about. That's a lazy take. Look deeper under the hood. It's the referees. They're awful. So while patty cake is happening, but while the Eagles offensive line is playing patty cake with the defensive players, they don't even want to play. They're not trying to play patty cake, but the damn offensive line for the Philadelphia Eagles, while they're in the middle of tush-push formation, you zoom in and you see one of them smoking a cigar, the other one's folding laundry, the other one's playing tic-tac-toe or patty cake, and then they just kind of offsides. One goes, the other goes, the ball gets snapped, Jalen Hurts moves in. It's getting completely ridiculous. I was once a fan of the tush push. One reason I did not want to ban it, I'm still very much an advocate of not trying to get rid of a play that people perfect, but it's not being played the right way anymore. It's not being executed the right way anymore. And the refs don't have a control over the situation. The refs are awful at determining what's offsides, what's not, when to make sense of it. And so for that reason, this play's got to go, in my opinion. And I did not once have that stance at one point in time. I think that if somebody perfects something and other teams can't do it, that's on the other team. I think there's still a way to sneak the ball. But the tush push itself, the way that it's constructed, the way that it's been working, these overhead camera shots are really shining a light on what's been happening for years. And without these overhead camera shot slow motion takes, which I'm sure we could go back in time 2 years, 3 years, and see this thing being offsides. And I'm sure they've gotten better at getting offsides and getting away with it, because I think in the initial stages, they probably weren't trying to get away with that. But teams are starting to pick up on how to stop the tush push. So the Eagles are having to step it up and do other things to try and slip, a split second advantage, this way, that way, start stacking it up and then start pushing a little bit in advance. I don't know. My point was, I started going off on a rant on the referees. I believe that once the tush push is eliminated, and it won't be completely eliminated, parts of it will be. You'll just have to revamp and circumvent the new rules. And Sirianni will certainly try, because he seems like a snake oil salesman. I think he would probably try and circumvent it to the best of his ability. But the reason you've got to circumvent, or when it gets circumvented, Hurts might regain a little more value. But at the end of the day, if they prevent Hurts from running these plays, Hurts gets his rushing touchdowns and some of the importance of his role in this offense diminished quite a bit. And I don't think that he's a much better runner than any of the other running quarterbacks in the league. In fact, I still put Josh Allen ahead of him. I'd put Lamar ahead of him. I'd put a couple other quarterbacks right in his caliber versus him being the best running quarterback in the league with the tush push and play. That's why you should get rid of Hurts in dynasty drafts. He will be exposed as a one-trick pony in a sense. Not completely, but in a sense, there are reasons to think that his play, the ability to game plan against the Eagles, the ability to game plan against Hurts will become easier when you eliminate his one secret weapon play. As far as this game goes, it was a boring game. I think the Eagles are a boring team to watch. I think the Eagles are an aircraft carrier with multiple nuclear warheads in A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Saquon Barkley, and essentially once was an offensive line that they can't even use. They can't even utilize any of these weapons at the same time. They can't utilize any of them to the full capacity that they're capable of being deployed. And it all starts with Jalen Hurts. And he's not an accurate quarterback. He's not a very good quarterback in the traditional sense. And he's so good at commanding, keeping calm. That stuff does play out in a way that is very evident that he can in the most ideal situations function and make a team like this look really, really solid. Problem is, when things start to fall apart, you get rid of A.J. Brown. The threat of A.J. Brown on the outside no longer makes Devontae Smith that scary either. And then all of a sudden, Barkley's getting older. They can't block as well this year. What happens to this thing as it starts to deteriorate? I think that they're not going to be this same team we're looking at now. And the team we're looking at now is not even the same team we were looking at last year. But they do credit where credit's due. There it is again. They're winning. The title here, Eagles crawl past the Lions. They're winning. Crawling, running, walking, breakdancing. Doesn't matter how they get there, but they're getting there. The question is, will a team unveil what is under the hood of this vehicle in the playoffs? And can the Eagles consecutively, when the pressure's on, advance through and make it to a Super Bowl and then win a Super Bowl? It's certainly possible. This team is the most boring team to win a Super Bowl in recent memory. It is in the cards. I am not suggesting that the Eagles can't win a Super Bowl with this defense and with the different offensive weapons rotating into place to step up at the right time to just score 21 points. You know, it's the defense is saying, hey, all you need to do is try so many times and you will get 21 points. Because that's what Jalen Hurts is doing. Trying, failing, touchdown. Trying, failing. Defense wearing down everything. Defense gets lazy, sloppy. Jalen Hurts throws a missile. Looks beautiful. Everybody says, oh, there it is. He's a good quarterback, see, but it's really a breakdown of things. And eventually the defense makes the offense tired because they're the other side tired, makes the opposing defense tired. It just is a constant who is going to wear down the other side first. And the Eagles end up wearing down both sides of any team that they play, and then everybody gets sloppy. And then things start, falling apart. And if you've noticed, the Eagles tend to have that momentum at the end of games because things don't get as tight and it gets sloppy. I don't know what to say as far as this box score here. Am I worried about Goff? Yes. Do I think Goff could rebound from this? Yes. Do I think, and I said this before the show started, do I think the Lions can turn into the Falcons on occasion and then flip back into monster mode? Yes. And I think exactly what I said when the game was kicking off is exactly what happened. You saw the Atlanta Falcons tonight. You saw Penix Jr. in Goff tonight. You saw a team break down and not be able to move the football tonight. You saw an Atlanta Falcons team emerge. One that can beat any team any given week. And granted, the Lions are much better than the Falcons. I'm not suggesting that they're the same. I'm merely saying what happens to the Falcons from one week to the next is happening on occasion, not the same rate, to this Detroit Lion team. They got to be able to move the ball. Goff has to be protected. You've got to mask what Goff can't do properly. You've got to run the ball effectively. You can't make everything comeback mode. Make Gibbs catch 5 passes for 107, which is glorious, and we absolutely love what Gibbs dropped today. The meatloaf.
I smell meatloaf.
Meatloaf. Love our boy Gibbs, but you gotta run the ball better. You can't run 12 times 3.3 a carry for 39 yards. Your leading rusher cannot have 39 yards when you have the most dynamic backfield in the National Football League. This is still a close game. I granted the Lions kicked a field goal at the end to make this 9 instead of 6, but 6-16, there's no excuse for not having 22 totes for Gibbs and maybe 11 or 12 for Monty, or at least 10 for Monty. There's no excuse that this number, if you add it together between Monty and Gibbs, is under 20 carries. This is 18 carries between Gibbs and Monty on a team that runs the ball better than anybody in a game that was 6-16 at its worst. So this is on the Lions, and they're going to occasionally do this. Now, we have a lot of concern tonight. I mean, there's been a lot of bad play tonight. There's been a lot of bad play tonight. Today, all today. Jamar Chase. What did Chase do? Virtually nothing. 30 yards. What did St. Brown do? Virtually nothing. He also had 42 yards. What did Harvey do? Nothing. What did Emeka Egbuka do? Nothing. What did Rice do? Nothing. What did Mahomes do? Nothing. What did Lamar do? Nothing. I mean, what did Gadsden do? Nothing. What did Herbert do? What did Ladd do? There were a lot of players that did well, but it was a smaller handful than normal. And dare I say that handful of elite players would still have a tough time competing with another very solid week's top 15, 20 overall players. There's a chance that you take today's top scoring players, throw them in one of the previous weeks, and they kind of hang, but they're trickled throughout the top 25. This was a very, very weak fantasy football output and statistical output this week. And in that, people need to make sure they don't overreact to some of the bad performing players, i.e. Chase, i.e. St. Brown, in many cases still Harvey. I know everyone's upset at Harvey, but he did what he did with what he was given. The game script was, it was a bad matchup. We thought they'd throw to him more. They didn't. He still got 10 carries. You hope that in the case of where Hendy got 14 carries in week 10 and had 147 yards and 2 touchdowns, Harvey had 10 carries. He was 4 carries off of that number that got Hendy the number that everybody fell in love with. So we can't sit here and just blame everything on Hendy. We can't sit here and just, it's the type of carries he got. I don't think something that Sean Payton's gone away from him. Sean Payton didn't use him right. Let's say that right now. They should have thrown the hell out of the ball to him, but they didn't. That part sucks. And I think Sean Payton screwed up how to use Harvey today. Harvey was the key component in making this a dynamic offense. Hence, Harvey not even being used at a consistent rate, and he scores 3 touchdowns, a hat trick, at less than 50% of the usage. Not even close to 50% of the usage, and he scores 3 touchdowns. Then your offense wins. Then your offense is potent. Then your offense is productive. The problem is when Bo Nix wins, and he does win in the fourth quarter, and Bo Nix is great in the fourth quarter, the team's great in the fourth quarter, their offensive line is good, the defensive line is good. 2 great sides of this football help this Denver Bronco team win in the fourth quarter. It makes them enabled to say we did all the right things today versus they lose and say we need to get Harvey the football more. But I do think brighter days are ahead for Harvey immediately in his next contest. So don't go doing something wild and crazy. But yeah, Sean Payton does need to use Harvey, and he doesn't need to be used exclusive easy. No one thinks he's going to be used exclusive. No one ever thought that. No one ever said that. Mark Ingram was running back 9 during Kamara's 83 reception rookie season, where Kamara was running back 4. You don't need to be used exclusively. You just need 14, 15 carries, 4 or 5 receptions. That's all we've ever wanted for Harvey. That's all we want for Gibbs. That's all we want for Achane. And that's all that's needed or required. And for anybody that says Harvey's trash or Harvey's bad or Harvey's this, you're probably the same person that said that about Hendy 4 weeks ago. You're probably the same person that said, should we cut? Can we just give up on Hendy already? How many times did we have people come into chat and go, Smitty, are we giving up on Hendy? Can we move on from Hendy? I mean, we should just drop him. Can we drop Hendy? Those same people are the same people saying Harvey's trash. Nothing on London. All right, let's get straight into the waivers. And let me pull up real quickly a list that I also was working on here. This is the week 12. I can't believe we're in week 12. Week 12 waiver wire rankings that I had. And let me tell you who I think is the best option walking into this week. So let's go to this board real quickly. Let me write down. So we have Watson, Wilson, and Wilson. Let me remember that. So I like doing this live with you guys. I think it's a much more effective process. And Travis, you can call in if you're out there. Travis usually dials in, and we do this. Let's put Benson needs to be on this list. Benson's coming back. Actually, let me write it over here, the names, and then we'll rewrite it in organized fashion this time on the left side. We got Gainwell. I'm not going to see anybody's suggestion unless it's a green check mark emoji. You will not be included in this if you don't write a green check mark emoji, because I will not see it. I'm only going to filter by that. You still got Kareem Hunt, who's out there. We still got Emmanuel Wilson, who's out there. And now that we have potentially Jacobs missing at least one or two, maybe more, but it looks like he escaped a major injury. We got Christian Watson. Again, if you don't put a green check mark, I will not see your suggestion. You're wasting your time. And let's see here. We got Sean Tucker. Tucker needs to be on here. He'll probably be near the top. I mean, we'll discuss the context of Tucker and what it means. Algier still is available in a crazy amount of leagues, and he's still a touchdown threat, even though, I mean, it was awesome to see Bijan score 2. You got Rodriguez. You got Spears. We got B-Rob Jr. We've got, I said Benson, right? Did I get Benson there. Gainwell, Kareem Hunt, Sean Tucker. Well, we got Christian Watson, right? Wilson, who? Michael Wilson, the other Wilson. What? Travis?
Tootin.
All right. Tootin. Who else, guys? Look, if you can look at the chat too, Travis, that'd help. Dortch, I guess Dortch, yeah, sure. Dortch.
Yep.
Singletary, yeah, that was the other one. Singletary is going to be near the top this week.
If after the chat's done, I can fly through the positions quick if you want me to.
Yeah, go ahead. Go with quarterback first. And let's dial it down a little bit. Let's say anything that's under 20, like even if it's 19%, we're leaving it out. It's got to be in the 20s or higher.
Okay. All right, so darts out. Burrow.
Okay.
Still 25%. Did you get Brissett? He threw for 450 yards.
Yeah, didn't he have 45 completions?
Something like that. It's crazy.
That was an NFL record, 45 completions. That's crazy. Okay.
Purdy.
What's the percentage of availability with Purdy, though?
35 to 40.
Okay. Sanders, too. Purdy.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Love is still 29%. Love is 29% available on Sleeper.
Rudolph, no thanks.
Mariota, Mills, Darnold.
We'll mention Mariota and Rudolph if you need somebody, but I'm not going to waste my marker on them. Tet McMillan had a good day, yes sir. Brissett, we got Brissett on here. Okay, running back.
Yeah, running back. I think you got most of them. Did you get Hunt? Yeah, Hunt's there.
Yes.
Charbonnet is still available in 23%. Mungai available in 30%.
Let's make it 30% or higher. No even 20%, guys. So okay. Who's that knockout for the quarterbacks?
For 30%, that would knock off Burrow because he's 25.
Okay, make sure Burrow's not out there verbally. There you go. All right. JD5 is probably not available.
And that would knock off Love because he's 29%.
Okay. All right. Manungai, Adam Manungai. And then only guys that are 30% or higher. Is Quorum available in more than 30% of leagues?
Yep. Quorum's available.
Quorum Hunt. Gainwell.
Knight.
Bam. Okay, I got all these on here. Bam.
Yep.
Okay. Wide receiver.
Pretty good wide receiver. Did you have Franklin in there?
No.
Franklin. Bryant had a big game too. I don't know what his role will be. But.
Franklin. Okay.
Pierce coming off a bye.
Alec. Okay.
Trey Tucker and Parker Washington. They're like 35% available. Tez is still 40% available.
P. Wash, and then Trey. Okay, and then what'd you say the last one you just said?
Tez.
And I know everybody's upset at Tez. So he's still a good option.
Burden took over the wide receiver 3 spot in snaps now. He's been moving up. I know doesn't have a huge role yet. Judy.
I like Burden.
Judy, he had a good game last week. I think he had 7 targets this week.
Okay.
DK, just because Iomanori and Ridley are hurt.
Like London's not out 3 weeks, Jose. You're spreading fake news. It's not out. There's no timetable yet. So you're gonna go in timeout if you do that.
And besides that, random guys.
Okay, tight ends. Tight ends.
Tight ends, 30%. So make sure Kincaid's not out there because he dropped under 20%. Just doesn't know he got hurt. But same with Mark Andrews. But besides that, Juwan Johnson and Schultz, they're both available.
Juwan.
Loveland and Otten are still available.
Okay. I think that's good. Barner. Barner.
Barner, yep.
All right. If anybody has one they want to throw in later, Strange, likely, Otten. Strange you could put in here, I suppose. I'll put Strange.
Yeah, he's coming back.
I'm not gonna do anything but the top 10 today. So and then we just you got a sense of watching that. Everybody watched that live, that those are names that we're looking at, but then the real important ones we're going to put right here in the top 10. 9, 10. So I'm going to say the number one ad this week, Travis, we can discuss it before I lock it in, I suppose. It's either going to be, for me, we're talking about running backs. Running backs can win fantasy. I don't think Franklin's winning you a league. I like Franklin. I don't think Tez a league. I don't think there's any receiver out there. The top wide receiver is who? Franklin?
Franklin or Pierce?
And Christian
Franklin, Watson, and Pierce.
Yeah,
those 3.
They're not winning you leagues. I'm not saying Singletary wins you a league. I'm not saying Gainwell necessarily wins you a league, but they can do a better job of trying. Benson could win you a league. What's Benson's availability?
Benson's available in 31% of sleeper, even more Yahoo.
All right, I'm gonna say, is Benson the one, Gainwell the one, or Singletary the one in your mind, or other Michael Wilson?
I think it's
Emmanuel Wilson. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say Emmanuel Wilson's gonna be in it. I would say Benson, Emmanuel Wilson, are probably the 2 biggest. Tootin would be up there too, as long as he's healthy.
How bad is Jalen Warren's injury? Let me see.
Well, we don't know. He came back in the game.
Yeah.
So, but again, ankles are fun. So.
But the question is, the question is, did he lose his job anyway? Or at least 40-50% of the work? I mean, it's hard to say.
I don't know. He didn't last time this happened, so. I mean, Emmanuel Wilson, like, I guess it depends on how long Jacobs is out, because Emmanuel Wilson and arguably Benson step into big roles right away.
And even though Jaylen Warren came back in, I think once the swelling ensues and the adrenaline's off, I think Warren's going to be potentially an issue. Yep. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say right now, because Benson has and did have in the offseason league-winning potential to us, and he's walking probably into the starting role, or at least getting 60% of the work or something, and he is, by definition, a league winner prior to week 1 kicking off for us, and there's not a lot on this board that feels that good. That I like Monungai a lot if he got in there to start. I think Monungai would also have league-winning potential, and you guys might be surprised that he cracks this board just on the spec. Him and Tootin are kind of combined my secret weapon players. You still have, you stash, you hold, you wait, might not do anything, might not deliver. I'm going to go, man, Gainwell was so good. He was so good. How do they not play him? I know.
Every chance he gets, he looks good.
Singletary looks pretty damn good too.
Yeah.
And they seem to trust him right now. I'm going to go ahead and go. I think Singletary.
What was the split with him and Tracy?
I don't know what the split numbers were, but I know that when it mattered, it seemed like they trusted Singletary, and the fact that he had what was his line here? I got the exact stats right here. But Singletary was he was a boss in this game, and he was a receiving monster. I think they probably lean on him whenever he had 16 carries, 44 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He didn't have a big receiving game in this game. I'm sorry. He has.
No, Tracy did.
Yeah, he has the potential.
That's
Tracy,
the weird line.
Yeah, what was Tracy's line? Tracy.
So Tracy was 19 for 88, so 4.6 yards, and then 4 for 51 through the air.
Yeah. How do you rank?
Right.
How do you rank these two?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're right that it seems like they kind of trust. They trust Singletary. He's going to get those red zone, like inside the 5 looks, inside the 10 looks, but
yeah, it's hard to say. Yeah, this might mean this is a tier break for me then, because I don't really think there's a very clear number 2. I think Benson's the clear 1 for me. I think the same way that you're getting a short shot potentially of production out of Gainwell, Singletary, Tracy, are those guys, you're going to have it potentially tail off. And then you got Sean Tucker, obviously. I'm going to Tucker. We're going to talk about Tucker in a second. If I'm trying to predict, that someone's going to be worth something now versus later, is Tootin, if you don't need this player right now, is Tootin better or Monungai better than grabbing a Singletary, Tracy, or Gainwell now that you don't need now, that won't be doing anything later when you might need them later? So that's the question you also have to ask yourself. I tend to pick up players. I tend to say to myself, I'm not starting Singletary. Like maybe your team's in dire straits and you need it, but earmuffs on, I don't think you're winning a championship if you're picking up Singletary. Unless you've had the weirdest, most unique situation of injuries, your team is the best out there. You kind of winged it at your running back too. You did really good, but now you lost Jacobs, or you had no depth, but Jacobs was your running back too. Or let's say you had JCM there, you had everything else stacked, and you need to make a change now. And you're like, I can get Singletary in there. Everything else is locked. You're a unique situation. And so my advice right now to you, specific person, will be go get the Singletary, go get the Sean Tucker, go get the Gainwell to help you win right now, to help you score right now. But if you're in most people's situations and you're like, okay, I'll pick up Singletary, but I might not play him, you might want to grab Monangai or Tootin. They might just be, even if they don't end up getting to that level, they might just be the best player. Hunt, what was Hunt's line? What do you end up finishing with?
Yeah.
And chat, vote who you want to go next. Who's number 2 on the waiver board? With all the things.
Hunt had 13 for 69, 13 for 59 with a touchdown. Nothing really on the passing game. 13.2 points.
Man, I think I'm gonna go Wilson. I think I'm gonna go Wilson here, just because we could. It sounds like Jacobs escaped a long-term injury, but when people say that doesn't mean they're coming back in 1 week. It just means he didn't have a torn ACL. He didn't have a torn PCL to the point where he needs surgery. Doesn't mean he's coming back right away. It could be he's out 4 weeks. And sometimes the test results will reveal that it's a lot worse than they thought. He didn't tear it. The testing on the field, his knee sound, they did some initial testing. He hasn't had the imaging done yet that will tell you everything you mainly need to know. Wilson's interesting here. I'm going to say because he comes with maybe some more long-term value than we think, like maybe 4 or 5 weeks. But even if it's just 1 or 2 or 3 weeks, it's still very powerful.
I was going to say that's huge at this time of year. People are pushing for playoff spots now. You know, if you can get 2 wins out of him because of him, that's big.
Yeah. Now, Sean Tucker needs to be talked about as the number 3 overall waiver player.
Yep.
This is the week 12 ads. Now, does Bucky come back this coming week and Tucker goes straight to the bench, but then come in as a 30% guy? It's certainly possible, but I think we might be very disappointed with how they approach this. Might be. I'm not saying for sure, because now that Tucker's looked so good, they can afford to be more patient with Bucky for the long-term good. And I don't know that they're going to rush Bucky back this week like we thought. I'm not saying they won't, but they may run Tucker 1 more week just to say, look, I think we can win with Tucker, and we don't want Bucky to have a setback. He hasn't tested his shoulder yet. They avoided surgery, 1 hard shot, and he's done. And then what? They really love Bucky. Bucky's job hasn't been taken, but Sean Tucker may wiggle himself into the Rachaad White role, and that is okay. That doesn't mean Bucky can't get you over 100 total yards per game and a nice strong shot at a touchdown. Someone's got to take on the work that Rachaad White was doing. It will be Sean Tucker. It will not be Sean Tucker coming in and taking half of Bucky's work and Rachaad White still maintaining his old role. So there's room for 2 running backs, just like Tootin got 12 to 14 carries or whatever, 15 carries today, and Etienne had an amazing day. This Tampa Bay offense, in some ways, like Jacksonville, will run the ball enough that you can easily have a 10 to 12 carry running back that's spelling the starter.
Yeah, and there's something to say about Bucky only getting 50 to 75% of the snaps. He was elite doing that last year. So if that's what it takes to keep him healthy, I'm not saying that's necessarily what it would be, but they may go that route. And Tucker could pick up those snaps.
The other thing too is that the 2 players that we absolutely loved in the offseason. So this is not like, situationally, because I didn't love Emmanuel Wilson in the offseason because we didn't even for sure know he'd be the backup. It wasn't like something that he was going to for sure to hang on to. And so there was no like glamour in the offseason. With Sean Tucker and Benson, we've very much been waiting for them to get a shot. Not that we want Bucky to get hurt, but I wanted Tucker to take over Rachaad White's role in week 1. And that should have happened. Like, we were right. The coaching staff was wrong. They thought Rachaad White was good enough. They thought Rachaad White was better than Tucker. I don't know how they thought that, because last year when they used Sean Tucker, he went absolutely nuclear in a short, shot of games in replacing Bucky for a very short period of time. But for whatever reason they slow rolled Tucker out. I think Tucker can be flex worthy the rest of the way, at least initially, and we back off if something changed, even when Bucky comes back. But I do. So my point is Benson and Tucker are not just flashes in the pan. These are players we talked up all offseason, and now that they're in prominent positions to help, that just goes to show why they're both in the top 3, in my opinion. Now, Gainwell probably would go next, or Singletary, maybe both of them tied, kind of. Would you rank Alec Pierce ahead of either one? Would you rank Franklin ahead of either one? Do we keep rolling with the RBs until Gainwell and Singletary are off the board here? What are your thoughts on that? And chat, weigh in if you want, chat.
So I have Gainwell ahead of Singletary only because Tracy produced and we don't know what that split's going to be.
That's true.
Where Gainwell's a little easier where, like, I think if Warren's healthy, Warren is still going to be a part of the game. And it might even frustrate us because remember how good Gainwell was overseas that game? Warren comes back and Gainwell just does nothing. Now, maybe they switch it up, but I think you're right where if Rodgers is gone, they're going to have to use the running backs more. So I kind of roll with Gainwell in that next spot.
All right, I'm going to go. I agree.
After that, it gets interesting.
Yeah, I'm going to go Singletary after that. Now, I think it's time to veer away from the RBs. Let's chat. Are we missing an RB? Can anybody put an RB in the chat? And don't destroy your favorite little gem that no one thinks is in this conversation. You throw somebody out here that's not in this conversation, we're not entertaining it. Is there somebody we're not thinking of? You know, Tootin and Monungai are on my mind right now to be here. But I'm just curious if anybody feels... Now, Tootin has an ankle injury. I don't think it's severe. Could he miss a game? Yes. But at the same time, like I've said, Tootin's going to be going like this, I believe. While these guys, Singletary, Gainwell, maybe even Tucker, and especially Emmanuel Wilson, if Jacobs returns somewhat soon, will be going down. So there's no need to run away from Tootin, who's, because of the ankle injury, going to start off here again and then tail up. It's just a matter of what do you need and when. In that, I would probably say that I'm going to actually move Gainwell and Singletary down 1 and put Tootin at 4 personally. But I understand if someone's not wanting this secret weapon value in Tootin, and we're pending Tootin's ankle results, so understand that could definitely throw a wrench in this. But Tootin's going to go 4. I'm going to say Gainwell, and maybe Singletary tied.
I like that.
Just they're kind of the same type of player anyway.
After that, I think Pierce has to be talked about because since week 6, he's led pass catchers on the Colts in yards per game, target share, and first read target share. So DeAndre Jones is looking to him even before Pittman since week 6.
Which is crazy because Pittman was a top 6 receiver up until a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. And Pittman's been banged up a little, so we have to, acknowledge that too. But
all right. So I got Tootin off the board here. I wrote Tucker twice. Tucker was right here. Tucker's off the board. Let's see. I don't know, man. I'm tempted to say, okay, so Pierce there, Franklin. What was Franklin's line this week?
Yeah, 80 yards or something. I'll find the exact line. He ended up with 8 targets, 4 for 84.
4 for 84?
Yep. They're on bye next week, so you got to keep that in mind.
Maybe I'll go more than 10. We'll see. That's why I'm moving this over as I do it. We got Jawan Johnson. Let me rewrite this over here. Got Schultz. I'll put Schultz right here. Purdy.
Do we maybe just order the quarterbacks off to the side if you need a
I
quarterback?
think I might do that. I was thinking about that too. That we'll probably just like speak to where the quarterbacks could slot in, because quarterbacks are like on draft day. If you sort by scoring right now, quarterbacks are ranking in the top 10, but like you're not drafting them there, so I think it is good to leave them out. All right, so after Pierce, do we go Christian Watson? Do we go Franklin? Do we go?
So like
I kind of like
Watson, Franklin. Yeah, Monangai. Watson, Franklin, Monangai. Hunt is on a great offense. Kind of that group there. I would say. A lot of people are saying Rodriguez. To me, he's more of like a volume guy getting the work. So you would drop a little lower, but I don't know what you think.
Yeah, I'm not wanting to put Rodriguez here. So Watson, Franklin. Where's my Franklin? I wrote him here. Franklin. Monangai. Where'd I write Monangai? Right here. Okay, so Schultz
and Juwan Johnson are two guys that are just getting targeted like crazy at the tight end spot too.
Love and Otten. Loveland. What did Loveland finish? What did Loveland finish with? I had a few people complain about the waiver board. Bring back the old board, but like I don't understand why you would want that board more so than this, because this is penciling it all out. This is doing it on the fly. I could create some sort of board ahead of time, but then, this is like you're getting the process. I mean, does anybody in here really prefer the other board, or the people on the live stream understand it enough because you're watching it live that it's like, this is how I actually like the process too? I mean, would you rather me just come up with 5 names, 6 names, or 10 names and not have any like reason to it? You're just like, pick him up, he's the best guy, grab him. Like you're seeing me struggle and actually resort. Old Way says Johnny Sack. Come on, bro.
So Loveland had 4 targets, 3 receptions, 40 yards.
I like Loveland, but maybe not yet. Tracy.
Yeah, Commit's back in the mix, so that makes it tough.
Okay, so looking at this board here, and again, if anybody has somebody they want to add, please put a green check mark and the name. The green check mark and a name. The only one that said the old process is Johnny Sack. And he's old school from The Sopranos, so. Okay. Sanders, Otten, Reed, I did Tootin already. Tootin, take him off. Hunt, I guess Hunt needs to be in here. We'll go Hunt and Monangai in the same kind of bucket here. So Hunt and Monangai. This will be 9. This will be 10. Number 9 will make I don't
want to get Juwan and Schultz on there at all, or Otten.
I don't think so right now. I'm kind of feeling like I want to go for the home runs. And the only home runs I see on here, I think Rodriguez is in the conversation, but I see, like, if someone gets into the lineup, even if they're not yet, like B-Rob Jr. or Corum, they can win leagues. I got Alec Pierce already. I just don't see a lot of those options. Aldi Gordon, he could win a league if he's called upon to be the starter. And I'm not saying that they will. I'm not saying we want them to get in there. But are you really going to win your league by having Jaden Reed? Are you really going to win your league even with Tez? Look what Tez did today. Tez, is Bam Knight going to be consistent and win you a league? Bigsby, Barkley struggles, to get enough work. But Bigsby would be kind of at the bottom of the list of, okay, I'd rather take a shot on Bigsby than go Bam Knight. And so I guess we could put the tight ends here, maybe the ones that feel the most potent. So like Jawan, so Johnson, Loveland,
Like Schultz has eight plus targets in 4 out of the last 5 games.
Schultz, and then who's the fourth tight end? Would it be Otten or is it Otten or someone else? Barner or Otten?
I think it's Barner.
We'll put them both on here. Otten and Barner.
Okay.
Barner.
Yeah, I mean Barner had 11 targets today. So.
Okay, Barner, Schultz, Otten, and then number 10. So all the tight ends there. Number 10. I'm going to say Ollie, Corum, Bigsby.
Yeah, people made a good point. Strange. I mean, Strange is coming off the IR, so see what he steps into. Kind of role.
Yeah, I got Strange down here. I'll move him up here. Strange.
And like, I think most people get it too, but like these ones where you have, 2 people at a spot, it's kind of dependent on your league, who's available, what your team needs.
Michael Wilson, Burden. I'm just moving these around so I have more room. Burden. Barner. Rodriguez. Rodrigue. Algier. Let me move these over just so it's a little clearer. Algier. Deer. Okay, so Bigsby, and then I'll put Spears here. Corum. Did I get Corum? Corum. All right, so Ollie, Corum, Bigsby, Spears. Maybe Rodriguez. Rod. Oh, you can't even read that. Damn it. Hold on. Bigsby, Spears, Rod. Let me write that higher. Big B, Spears, and Rod. Parker Washington, P. Wash, Trey Tucker. I'll put Trey here. Okay, I don't think I'm going to go any further. I think B. Rob Jr. in this mix as well, potentially with Rod, but I'll just speak it. Burden, Michael Wilson, Purdy, Rodriguez, Parker Washington, Trey, Dortch, Strange. You could put Strange over here.
Wilson is completely dependent on how long MHJ is out, I guess, because as long as MHJ's out, he's going to be legit, I think, because I'm looking at it now. Jacoby Brissett, since he started taking over, he's finished QB7, QB12, QB10, QB10, and right now he's QB3. So he's been a top 10 QB 4 out of 5 games he's been in and thrown a ton. So as long as MHJ's out, Wilson is a good piece, just so people get that.
Okay. P. Wash and then Dortch. I'm just moving all this around. Dortch. Okay. So this is the grab bag of leftovers over here. This is the top 10. Benson's number 1. Emmanuel Wilson number 2. This is Sean Tucker, not Trey. Let me rewrite that, just so people don't get confused. Tucker, Tootin, Gainwell, Singletary, Pierce, Watson, Franklin, Monungai, Hunt. Then the tight ends, Juwan Johnson, Loveland, Strange, Schultz, Otten, Barner, Ollie, Corum, Bigsby, Spears. I put Sears. Sears Department Store. Spears, it's their sponsor. Spears, Rodriguez, and Brian Robinson Jr. That's it. That's it. Higgins, you can put him over here. Noel. So Higgins, of course, that's not the Higgins. Noel. DeMarcado, that's a good one to put over here. DeMarcado. Brissett, did I not? Yeah, Brissett's over here. Did I rewrite him? Maybe I erased him and didn't rewrite him.
Oh, yeah. Is Burrow there too?
Burrow?
Oh, we took him off, I guess.
We're taking Burrow off, yeah.
Yep.
Bam. Bam Knight right here. And I'll move this Bam over so I can fit Noel and Algier right here. So everybody can read it. Noel. Algier. Okay. It's done. Now, again, for anybody just joining, the rationale behind this, keep Mitchell, sure. Keith Mitchell. The rationale behind this is that Benson's a league winner and in his own right could be a league winner for the rest of the year. Emmanuel Wilson could be a league winner in a short stint of time, but does have the threat right now of Jacobs not having a significant season-long injury, that he escaped a very bad situation. But what's that still mean? Because the definition of escaping a major catastrophic injury still could be 3 to 4 weeks. It could be 2 weeks. It could be whatever. And it could be like Bucky's, where it's like unknown, where Bucky's was not a big deal either. Bowers' injury was not a big deal. Bowers was out of a long time. So Emmanuel Wilson there. Sean Tucker, the premise that he gets back in and continues to take on the Rachaad White volume is enough to put him here. And if he keeps the job for another 2 weeks, 1 week, whatever, we think that maybe they won't rush Bucky back. Maybe they don't need to rush him back. Maybe Bucky is ready. But either way, Sean Tucker is going to be in the mix. They're going to ease Bucky back in probably anyway. Tootin's got league winning potential and an ankle injury, but we'll see how the ankle is tomorrow. Gainwell, Singletary have kind of a shelf life maybe of helping you, or they're both in kind of similar sharing roles. Jaylen Warren injured but came back into the game. We're not sure what he's going to be like for his next contest, but Gainwell and Jaylen Warren are kind of sharing like Singletary and Tracy. Pierce could easily go up here if you needed a wide receiver. I'm definitely okay with that. Watson and Franklin could obviously do the same thing, go up here if you needed a wide receiver. Kind of interchangeable between Gainwell, Singletary, Pierce, Watson, and Franklin. Monungai and Hunt, this is kind of where a tier break maybe happens, but not in the sense that I wouldn't even want Monungai over Gainwell, Singletary if my sole purpose is to stash Monungai in hopes that he goes absolutely ballistic. And so if he does go absolutely ballistic later, gets the job, Swift gets injured, then that's league winning, and I'm willing to stash that kind of value. I'd almost say Tootin and Monungai kind of hold the same value to me. Maybe I move this. I really think Monungai is still capable of being an absolute league winner. And I don't know. I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to do it, which means that he goes all the way up here. Oh, damn. I just look like I got one of those like tattoos, like where they black out your entire arm. my fingers like. All right. Let me see here. Tootin and Manon guy. My pen is like really acting up on me. Hold on one second. Manon guy. Yeah, you can read that. Okay. So Manon guy is out here. That means we didn't do quarterbacks, right? So Hunt. Now, if we're going to insert quarterbacks, the quarterbacks were Purdy, Brissett, Sanders. Who else?
Purdy, Brissett, Sanders. I mean, besides that, like, Darnold had a terrible game. He hasn't been great. Yeah, Burrow and Dart are above 20 and 30. That's it. And, I mean, some people were saying Bryce Young, he threw for a bunch of yards, but how consistent is he going to be? Mariota, Mills. There's not much.
I'm going to write this on my board over here, too, so we'll have it in both places. I'll put it over there some point during the show, and then when I use this board, I won't get rid of it. So we'll always have the board to reference. I'll put it over on this far right board. At least the top 10. Travis, hang tight. Let me just get these super chats out of the way real quickly. I got a $2 hauler from Mac who says, must trade for Emmanuel Wilson, like his upside. Must I trade for him? I don't know that you trade for. I mean, he should be on waivers. If he's not on waivers, it depends what you'd have to give up to get him. And do you own Jacobs? There's a lot of questions that I have. Rise above, going 5 and 6, 10-man league, going to 9 and 2, 12-man league. Smitty. All right, man. Well, rise above. Nice work on the 9 and 2 league. 5 and 6. Keep up the fight. Don't give up at all. London avoided a major knee injury. Report says, yeah, that's the going consensus on what's going on, but we'll find out more. I don't think it's going to be. It could be a week or two too, just like Jacobs. We got to see, but I think I'll hold out hope that he doesn't have, some sort of vague, ambiguous injury like Bucky's was or Bowers. I just hope we're told what's going on. We'd rather know. One more chance to buy low on Harvey before the deadline. I agree, Rambo. I mean, the rest of the world's going to be torn on this one. I'll tell you that right now because people are very fickle. He goes from being beloved, 6 touchdowns without getting any starts at all. 6 touchdowns on the year, 4 receiving touchdowns. 1 bad performance, just like people want to run away from Bijan and Gibbs. Bijan the other day, everybody was like, what do I do? Do I get rid of Bijan? We had Jacobs for Bijan questions, straight up. It was insane. It was insanity. I'm not saying I like what happened today. I'm just, what are you going to do? Run away from him? Cut him? I'm not saying you, Rambo. Opponent finished with 1 of 2. I'm sitting at 56. I got Genty, Pickens left to play. Need 47 points between the two of them. Hosseini, it's possible, man. I'm sorry that I know we got your question wrong. We tried to group think the hell out of it. We might have overthought it. Who is it that he sat? It was Judkins, not a big. I mean, that was one we were debating, and he didn't exactly blow up. Harvey was
Chase Brown.
Chase Brown,
I think.
So Chase Brown got how many points? He had 99 yards and then what? Like 5 receptions for like something. What was it?
Yeah.
19 points. He said, Husseini said 19 points.
18.7 points. Yeah.
Okay, 19 points. And then Harvey had 8. Was it 8?
I think something like that. Harvey had 8.
Yeah. So 10, 11 points roughly. That's kind of what we said, that like if he missed, you'd lose like 8, 9, 10 points. I mean, it sucks in retrospect, but if he had exploded, then it's worth maybe having a 9 to 10 point, 11 point deficit that you have now. I don't know. Sorry, Husseini, that we didn't get that one right. Yeah, I don't regret starting Harvey. I know you can easily Ladd was the one that screwed. That's true. Ladd. Who could he have put in place of Ladd? Well, I could have put in Chase Brown.
I guess he could have put Pickens in for Ladd and had Chase Brown in the slot, I guess.
Man, it sucks to see that. But, like, getting that right is going to be hard. Like, Ladd could next week go crazy. It's hard for Ladd to do a single thing right when Herbert can't throw for more than 80 yards. Like, what's Ladd to do? It's not Ladd's fault. And someone could say, well, they need to get open. Not everybody's not getting open. This is, as much an offensive line and Herbert problem than it is the receivers dropping balls or whatever. I don't know. It's crazy. Husseini, I'm sorry, bro. I always hate when I fail anybody's question. You got this. Wouldn't it be amazing if you won? Pickens and Genty 47. It's possible, man. I mean, Pickens could have like 102 touchdowns in any given game. Genty could have two scores and ouch and 90 yards or something, and who knows? What would that be? Let's see. 9 points. Let's see. 9. Let's say Genty had 100, so 10 points and 2 touchdowns plus 12. Plus, let's say 3 more points. So 20. Let's say he has 25. You said you need how many? 48 points? Is that what he said? I think he said 48. So then you just need 23. So really, you just need 100 and... well, you got PPR points too, though. So like Pickens could get you 100, 5 catches plus 100 yards would be 15 points plus 6 points for a touchdown. That'd be... Wait a second. 6 plus 5 plus 10. So that'd be 21. No. 10 plus the 5 receptions. Yeah, okay. So 21. 21, yeah. So maybe one of them needs 2 touchdowns. I don't know. It's certainly possible. It could be a shootout. Maybe that game's going to be a shootout. Maybe it's not. I don't know. This week has been horrible for scoring. What a low scoring week. Simon, appreciate you, my boy. And that's another thing to remember, guys. I know some of us, I have a team that scored 190. I had a team that scored 185. But I had like 4 teams that scored 105, 101, 102. Nothing like in the 50s or anything. But this is one of those weeks where a lot of opponents are at 50, 70, 80 points. Just similar to the Eagles crawling to a finish over the Lions. There's so many down players. I venture to say that the handful of great players today, it's such a small group that other weeks completely trump this week. Like if you could look at it from a overview, high level point of view, you would see such a small. Like if it was charted, it'd be like, here's this amount of scoring. It'd be like boom. It'd be one of the worst weeks we've seen in maybe 2 or 3 years. Bauer's going to do good. Let's hope. I know Josh Allen did good for my main buy low for the last 4 or 5 weeks, and Lamar did not. So I understand a lot of you are pissed on the Lamar situation, but I still would buy him. I still would buy Lamar low because you're buying him low. If you can even trade, not everybody can trade. I would say, how many leagues can you trade in right now, Travis? Out of the handful that you do, is there even one that still allows trading?
All of mine are still good. A lot of them end this week, though.
Okay. Chat, can everybody put a number? Like 50% of my leagues I can trade in. The number of leagues you can still trade in of the leagues you play in. You play in 4, and you can trade in 2 of them, then put 50%. If you can trade in 3 out of the 4, then put 75%. Put a percentage in the chat of how many leagues... Or the number, 6 out of 7 if you don't want to do the math. 6, 7? How many? Just drop a number. And so I get a feel for what content we need this week. Because if a lot of you are like, no, all my leagues I'm not able to trade anymore. This is going to give me a good barometer of what kind of content to produce this week. 25%, 100%, 50%, 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%, 12 out of 12, 100%. Wow. 100%, 100%, 100%. I can only trade in 2 out of 5. 25% Rockout says 100%. 3 out of 3. Okay, I guess we're still doing trading videos this week. Okay. I didn't think it would be that crazy. I thought it would be like more like 50%. That's great news. So we'll be doing trade videos. 67%, 67. Jose. 100%. Deadline is this week. 2 leagues, both can trade. 100%, 85%. Wow. Awesome. That's actually exciting news. We're trying to pass a vote on whether, because the deadline, we didn't really think about setting it in the Marsman League and in the Mars. So if anybody's in the Marsman League, can you go vote on the poll? We're trying to open it up to just
it just passed, actually.
Okay.
Majority.
Yeah, if you want to move that, that'd be great. I'll make sure to get moved.
Yeah, well, I did it for all the Patreon leagues too, and a couple of them those were set for next week, so they have.
Can you do the moon? Are you in the Moonman or the Moonman League at all, or no?
No, I don't have any access to that.
Okay,
I can do it if you want.
Let me see. You're not even in there, right?
No.
Okay, let me go.
While you're doing it, like for the Marsman League one, the main thought was that, money gets paid out for championship, first place, and then anyone in the losers bracket is fighting to stay in the Marsman. So everyone always kind of has something at stake. So it made sense to kind of push it a little bit, I think, anyway. But.
Okay. All right, I just put that in the Moonman League, so that's good. All right. Simon, thank you. Let's see. Simon says 7-4, 12-man PPR. Trade Hendy for JJ or hold with this. Allen, Brown, Bucky, Hendy, Woody, Rashad, Jamar Chase, Tet, Pearsall, Garrett Wilson, Tyler Warren. What did Pearsall end up with? He had 1 catch for 0 yards today. I knew he didn't do well, but I didn't exactly know the number. Jeez. I'm keeping Hendy, man. I mean, what's JJ right now? I definitely like trading for JJ, but not at the cost of Hendy. Oh, thank you. You want to trade Tet for JJ and take a gamble there? And I could understand somebody not wanting to do that, but we got to remember he just had 2 touchdowns and 100 yards. The week prior, you would have done it in a heartbeat. Like, we have to. And if you're trading Tet, you get to keep the points he just scored. It's not like you're sending those points off. So if you want to take a gamble, I'd trade Tet McMillan for JJ. I'm not trading Hendy for JJ, bro. Hendy has 5 touchdowns in 2 games. He has 200 plus rushing yards, 4.9 yards per carry in 2 games with over 200 yards rushing. There's 260, I think, total yards, 5 touchdowns, 4.9 a pop. That's crazy. That's awesome. Captain says, I survived Josh Allen. Wow. Trading Gadsden, Garrett Wilson 2 weeks ago for Bijan won me this. Oh, Captain. Bijan was so cheap for 2 straight weeks. People sat on it. And you can sit here and go, oh, no one's trading Bijan. Believe me, we talked about it over and over. There was too many signs that this was an easy trade to pull off. The Algier fear last week was so big and so great. People were panicking like crazy. They were trading Bijan in 1-for-1 deals that they would have 2 weeks prior required double the amount of players. If you like example, you're trading I don't know, like Adams for him or something. You would need to trade Adams and a Kyron to get Bijan or more. This past week, there was a fire sale on Bijan. Not in every league, but I would say in a lot of them. A comfortable amount of leagues where Bijan only required 1 of those players to get him. That ship is sailed, but it is a volatile offense for sure. I hope they go back to to the ground and pound. Now that they've got an injury to Penix, I imagine will be at least a week. We'll see. Could be longer. Kirk Cousins back in there. They're going to have to run the hell out of the ball. They're going to have to run the hell out of the ball and run the hell out of the ball successfully. Henry or Dowdle rest of season, I go Hendy. Did I say Henry? Hendy or Dowdle rest of season, I go Hendy. But I do love Dowdle still. Dowdle would have had 100 total yards and a touchdown. I don't know, Travis, what did you think on that run? I know there's some differing opinions, and I get what people's perspective is. I don't think anyone's crazy for thinking opposite of what I'm thinking, but during that replay, there was zero, in my opinion, there was zero evidence that his foot was over the line. Just because you couldn't see green anymore, you couldn't see any white being stepped on. It was just, I think it's wrong to assume that you're stepping on the white blades of grass when you don't see any more green. That is a faulty logic. He's stepping on the final blades of the green. Like, there was no evidence. You didn't see an impression anywhere. And if you followed the line when you watched, his foot was literally like nearly touching, but not on it. It was not on it. It was, and when it slipped over, you saw a bunch of like dirt fly over onto the chalk, not the other way around. I thought it was a touchdown, but
yeah, and like I think the NFL actually has to clarify, because the rule is supposed to be irrefutable evidence, you know. And what was the call on the field actually? I can't remember.
They overturned it.
Touchdown?
No, they overturned
it.
That's what I'm saying. He should have had a touchdown and 100 total yards, Rico.
Right, and so they all the time, there's clearly not irrefutable evidence, which I agree in this, and they come back and they overturn it anyway. So it's like, just change the rule then, you know, because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Fumble the bag playing Harvey over Tucker. Rock out. You did. There's no way you're playing Tucker over Harvey. Like, don't even let your mind go there. You can't. He was in a, like, if Tucker went out there and got if Tucker went out there and got Monungai, like Monungai last week, everyone was expecting him to get more work. He didn't, and then everybody felt like he was trash. If Sean Tucker went out there and they didn't give him the work, which you wouldn't have known necessarily, you would have been like, what was I even thinking? There was no decision to make there. Hindsight is more than 2020. Nobody should be saying I should have started Sean Tucker over. That is a wild mentality. That's not where you want to put your headspace. Oh, I had Tucker. I should have put him in. You were not going to put in Sean Tucker over Harvey. Not when Harvey was being anointed the starter finally. There's zero chance you were doing that. But now you got a dilemma. But we'll have to play it by ear. And at the time, Harvey was a fantastic start. You can't let your mind. I think that's what I've gotten good at over the years. When I first started playing fantasy, I would literally be like Mike in our Patreon. Mike, if you're out there, shout out. Overreacts about everything. He lets it all internally fester, and he's in the Patreon going, why me? That's Mike. That's the way it comes off. I'm quitting. I'm gone. Mike, you're always freaking out. You got to learn for your own sanity that you can control the things you can control, and you didn't know. When you say I knew it, you didn't know, because if you knew it, you would have did it, and that's part of the situation. So you got to learn to let go of the things you can't control, and realize that if you knew it, you would have done it, and that's it. And you got to move on. And know that you made the right decision at the right time. Like, where I can sit here and say it was the right decision to play Harvey. It just like it was the right decision to play Jamar Chase. And he got you 30 yards. Like, you can't. These things are a numbers game as well. It's Mike in here. Mike's probably, wait a minute. Mike, you always say things like, I'll see you next year. I'm here. Bye. I'll see you next year. Bye. In the middle of the game. And then Mike will do that in the middle of a game, like the first quarter, And then the end of the games, when the afternoon game, like last week, the end of the games, it was one of the best weeks we had as a show. It was like, wow, okay. I'll see you next year. I'm canceling all my meatloaf orders. I order way too much meatloaf thinking I was going to have winnings. I got to cancel it. All right, Travis, anything else? I'm probably not going to stay here much longer tonight.
No,
but I'll be back.
Just interesting. I was talking about it in the Patreon today how the Falcons are, a mess coaching-wise, it seems, and they can't seem to put it together. And, I mean, they did good to get the two young rookies this year for the defensive line or defensive edge, but the Rams have their first-round pick, which means the Rams might be getting handed like a top 5 to 10 pick this year, which is just kind of interesting to think about.
Yeah.
Gunner. That's all I get. Though.
The Gunner Player of the Week. Tomorrow I should have the Fuego Stickers Player of the Week up that board, but the Fuego Stickers Player of the Week will probably be that's a celebratory player. It's going to be Hendy. Believe it or not, that was this past week. It was just on Thursday. Seems so long ago. That glorious moment. Fantasy football is never going to be 100% glory. There's always going to be struggles. There's always going to be questions. There's always going to be, why did the coach do this? Why did we do this? Why did this happen? Injuries. Injuries have been the biggest crutch of this season. It's been crazy. I'm going to go over a video on that. Just to I think it sets people at ease when they see it. They see how many injuries have, you can't just be down on your season when you lost Neighbors, you lost Joe Burrow, and then Joe Burrow affected your Chase Brown shares for a few straight weeks, and you got 4, L's at the beginning. It's been crazy. The injuries have been insane. Nor do I think it should shape too much of what you do next year, because next year it's always different patterns and such. Like, it's not like we'll always have injuries, but I think that next year will be kinder.
Yeah, and then the busts mixed in, BTJs and all that. Just so much of it.
Rambo says the ski mask says he saw Rambo at Dominic's Steakhouse in Scottsdale. I'm about 10 to 15 minutes away from that place, by the way. Fantasy can make you doubt your intelligence, says Rock Out. I think it just makes you doubt. You gotta remember why you played it. You gotta remind yourself that even if you lost a big league this year, that the fun is in the next year winning it. You gotta keep that mentality. Otherwise, yeah, you could get pretty worn down. If you stop, you gotta want to be down by 10 points going into Monday night with your player left and he's got nobody. You gotta want to live for that kind of stuff. You can't get into a rut where you want to be up by 150 points when he has no players left, so you don't have to watch the games. Like, that's why you did it, to make the games more enjoyable.
Yeah, and like I have 8 leagues, and that's almost too many for me. But one of my leagues, I lost Joe Burrow. I had BTJ. Team got off to a slow start. I'm in last place. I'm not making the playoffs in this league. I have scored more points in the second place team, but I've faced like 300 more points in the second place team. So it's like all you can do is make the best moves you can make, and the rest of it you just kind of got to roll with it. Everything's not going to work out.
Dominic's Steakhouse in Scottsdale. Is that even? Let's see here. Let's look at the menu. Dinner meat. I'm not getting it tonight or anything. I'm just curious. I don't remember going here. $65 New York strip steak. Dominic. Or not Dominic. What was it? Rambo. Ski Mask and Rambo, what are you guys doing over here? $82 for a bone-in KC strip? Look at these prices. This is where Ron goes. Ron has his steaks helicoptered in from this place, probably. Costs a little extra, but it's worth it. Here's the menu. This is part of the menu. Filet mignon, $82. What is it? Hold on. Australian Wagyu. That's what Ron gets. The Wagyu filet, 8-ounce, limited availability, no pricing listed. No, what's MP mean? Must pay. Must pay in advance. 83.
Market price.
Oh, market price. Okay, market price. You can tell I haven't gone to a high-end steakhouse in a while.
I only know that because I'm from Cape Cod and there's seafood all over, so that's how they have
the tomahawk, the bone-in Wagyu tomahawk, 46 ounce, $295. I'll meet both of you down there right now if you're buying.
High rollers.
All right. Anything else, Travis?
Nope, I'm good. Appreciate it, Smitty. I'll talk to you later.
Later. Thanks
Bye.
for the help on the board. All right, guys, let me hit the super chat here. And if there's any others, I will be answering those, and then we'll be out of here. We'll be back tomorrow, though. One in the Marsman League, 145 to 144. Nice job, Rock Out. I think I won the Marsman League. I'm finally turning things around, but the Marsman League, I've been hit with injuries. I've been hit with the worst luck known to man. I would guess the most points scored against. I have to be. Let's see if I can find that. Points against. 1402. Yeah. So just to let me put it this way. The average points scored against in the Marsman is about 1230, 1240, 1250. There's 1298. There's a 1300. There's 1287. There's a 1390. 1206. Russian Collusion and I are in the 1400s. We've had 1400 points scored against us, way more than the average bear. And I've just been hit with injuries, but Sick Nasty's going to lose. He's one game behind me. The problem is, it goes down to the toilet bowl, and the loser of the toilet bowl gets kicked out and sent down to the Marsman League. So I won this week. That's already guaranteed. Sick Nasty's got one win and lost, so I'm ahead of him by 2 games now. But the person I'm trying to catch so that I'm not in the toilet bowl, because my team's so good too. It's just been hit with injuries. Russian Collusion's guaranteed to lose, so he'll be at 4 games. I'll be at 3 games. I got to catch him in order to not be in that toilet bowl race. My team in the Marsman League, I made some trades. I don't know if you guys wouldn't remember anyway, but I got Stafford, Kyron, Egbuka, JJ, Waddle, Rashid. Well, hold on. Let me read them in order. I always get mad when people do that, but I'm just reading it the way that the lineup's showing it. But Stafford, Kyron, Charbonnet. That's a weak running back too. Egbuka, Rice, JJ, Waddle, Cade Otton, and then on my bench I've got Sean Tucker sitting there. But I won anyway. So I don't know. Maybe I'm trading Sean Tucker to the Bucky owner. Let me see who's got Bucky. Let me make a trade. Trade. Who's got Bucky in this league? I mean, I could go get Bucky, or I could trade Bucky to this owner. Let's do a trade live. Let me see if I can plug in. I don't know if this will let me do this, but let's see if we can. Let's try and make a trade. So here's the we don't give the Mars Man and Moon Man leagues enough runs. So let's do a little recap. Let's get out of here real quickly. League. Here's the standings. We got Juicy in first, 8-2. Johnny 777 in second. Travis in third. Veda, Choppers, Mars Man Purdue. Kyle, let's rock out. Hampton in closed. That's Mark Cleveland. New Age Outlaw, Russian Collusion. That's me, and that's Sick Nasty. My team is pretty solid. Let's set the lineup for week 12 real quick. So let's just pretend Sean Tucker is going to get some run. Let's make sure that this is listing right. It reordered it on me, I think. Rice, okay. So we got, this is my squad. Stafford, Kyron, Sean Tucker, Egbuka, Rice, Kate Otten, Jalen Waddle's on a bye, JJ. It's a good team. It's a good team, and I can't buy wins. I finally got my third win, but I was sitting at one win pretty much the whole season with this team. I don't know why. I just can't put the points against. I already went over it. You can see the points against right here. I have 1402 points against. Above that, Russian Collusion. But you look at all these 1253, 1241, 1233, a lot of low-scoring teams. Let's go make a trade right now. Click on trade. Let's go find the Bucky owner. Who's got Bucky? Who's got Bucky? I kind of want Dowdle. Where's Bucky? Did I pass him? Watch, he's on my IR. Where is he? Am I blind? Irving, where's Irving? There he is. God, I don't know why I didn't see it. It's late. Achan, Bucky. I need a running back though. Well, you know what? I could. He doesn't have anybody even to upgrade to. Kyron. Achan. Whoops. Would you guys do this? Would you do that, and would he do that? Yeah, Sick Nasty, good luck to you. I'm not trying to. I wonder if I can pull this off. Let's send it. I don't think it's a bad offer. Purdue, are you out there? Kyron, Sean Tucker. Actually, do I have quorum? No, I don't. We'll add the tab as well. Do it live. Anything else you can add? No, I think we're good. Let's go ahead and send that on over. So Achan for Kyron, Sean Tucker, $10. Let's see if we can put let's see if we can Travis, you want to try and do a trade live? Let's see if we can do a trade live, Travis. Right here, hold on. New Age Outlaw, you out there? Anybody in the Marsman League up right now that wants to do a trade live? Okay, yeah, Travis does usually take time. he's a little bit of a thinker. I'm more of a just hit the button and roll. Gibbs, Javonte. I wouldn't mind going this route. Let's see what I can do. Chase Brown. Would you do that, Travis? Quite honestly, I mean, HN's on a buy is what it is. At this point, I'm in the at this point, I'm assuming I'm in the toilet bowl. So I'd rather just have the best team. Because I got to escape not only Sick Nasty, which I've left Sick Nasty 2 games back. Because I feel good about that. But I still have to catch New Age out. Or who is it? Collusion. I still have to catch Collusion. Travis, do you like this at all or no? Travis is like, let me calculate the numbers tomorrow. I'll get back to you around midnight tomorrow night. Yeah, I'm the tinker. Travis is the thinker. I'll just kind of just hit it. And sometimes you regret doing that, but sometimes you make moves because you're willing to do something crazy. But Smitty, use your commish tools. All right, Travis is going to think on it. It's good. I don't want Travis to do a trade he doesn't want to do. Is there anybody in the Marsman League that will do a trade right now? That should have been a qualification. You got to trade on the spot once a year on the live show. That'd be pretty cool. If you had to do one trade a year live on the show. What if you had to make a trade every week? Or you get penalized like 20 points or something. That would be a wild league. That would be pretty cool. If you could implement that into the league management software, you have to make a trade once a week or you lose 20, let's say 50 points in total point scoring. Or you start off the next week minus 20 points. Yeah, that would be perfect. Make a trade once a week or you start off negative 20 points. That'd be awesome. It would make people freaking out. It'd go all over the place. Rambo says that's a lot for Jamar Chase, JJ and Waddle. Travis, if you want it, let me know and I'll send it. I don't know. If you don't want it now, I won't send it. But if you want it now, I will send it so you can hit yes or no. I'm out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Rock out. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you all for the super chat. Thank you, Mac. Thank you, Rise Above, for the double. Rambo, Husseini, Simon, Captain. Appreciate you all. Husseini, I feel like we failed you this week. I'm sorry, bro. You had such a dilemma, though. The problem is you traded into too good of a team that had too much depth. We're going to get it wrong every week, man. You turn your team around amazingly. The problem is you got too good. You got too good, bro. Travis says he's looking it over. I'll wait a second. If you're not, don't pressure Travis. It would be fun to do a trade. I don't know. I mean, for me, I'm losing depth for sure. Like, who do I even put in? without Waddle. I guess Charbonnet. Hopefully Tootin. Does everybody like the JJ Waddle side more? To be honest, Jamar Chase might be in JJ's same boat now. You know, like I don't know what's in store for Jamar. I know he's felt safer than JJ, but I don't know that he does anymore. And the Bengals, you know, they need to win in order for Joe Burrow to come back. I'm a little afraid that Joe Burrow is just not going to come back, because if they're not in it, why rush him? I don't know. What if they're losing? Flacco inevitably gets hurt, and then they're losing even more, and then Joe Burrow can't come back. I don't know. That's the only fear I have. All right. Travis, no pressure. I don't want you to do a trade. You're pressured into doing. I know you probably wouldn't anyway. But final verdict. Wait, take it offline, or do you want to do a trade live on the show for excitement? I'm not trying to pressure you. I just think it's fun and exciting, and I wish more Marsmen were sitting up late at night here to do a trade. I don't know where the Marsmen are. If I've got another Marsman on the phone that wants to do a trade, dial it up. JJ and Rice for Chase and Ladd. No. Well, yeah. I like Ladd a lot, but mate. Yeah, I don't know. I think I just like this 2-for-1. All right. See you all later. Appreciate you all. Live Monday through Friday. Don't forget to join the live chat Patreon. I'm going to drop the link in the live chat right here. Live chat 24/7, 365. Cancel anytime. There's the link right there. Boom. Smash it. Do it live. The Patreon 365, 24/7, $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Join it. I'll be over there right now. Travis will probably be over there right now. I'm sorry for anybody that didn't have Harvey step up. I do feel like, you know, I can't control things, but I do believe this one I will take an unfortunate L on the Harvey call, but I don't regret it. I don't know if that makes you feel worse or better, but I don't regret it. It was a sound move. It was a sound start. And you can't, and not everything goes right. But I will say I'll take the L for all of you. I'm sorry about that. I wish I could absorb the L for you in your league. I still believe in him. Travis, any final trade? Sick Nasty, do you have a trade? Before I hit end, anybody want to do a trade? Johnny, 777, where you at? New Age? Russian Collusion? Stick Nasty? Nobody? I mean, I feel like I'm begging to trade. This is wild. Stick Nasty, I'll give you I'll give you Tucker and Waddle for Breece Hall. I'll give you You got anything, Sick Nasty? Any trade for me? Waddle, Tucker for Breece Hall. I need a running back though. I only got 2. Well, you're getting Sean Tucker, Sick Nasty. I'm just handing you the man of the hour. Brian H says I don't like that trade, Smitty. I would stick with Tucker and Waddle. All right. Nobody. Your boy's literally trying to beg somebody to make a trade with him right now. I have a league full of non-traders. All right. See you all later. I got everybody twisting my arm to move the trade deadline. No one's trading with me. We moving the trade deadline just to stare at it? That trade deadline looks pretty. That trade deadline looks pretty. Sick Nasty says let's do it. All right, hold on. We're not out of here just yet. There's 396 of you in here. I think Sick Nasty wants to do this trade. Are you wanting to do this trade? Does anybody think I'm making a mistake here? Breece Hall. I'm giving up Waddle and Tucker. All right. Is this a mistake? Would you guys rather have Tucker and Waddle or Breece Hall? I'm going to stand by it. I need a running back. So I'm going to stand by it. I'll stand by my offer. I'll stand by my offer. All right, Sick Nasty. I'm going to offer it right now. Breece Hall. Waddle, Sean Tucker, sent. Whoops. Mars Man. How am I doing in these leagues? 99% chance to win that one. 1% 34, 99, 98. Okay. Kind of a mixed week. Where's my Mars Man? All right, let's see if Sick Nasty accepted it. Outgoing. This is how we are when we send a trade to somebody. We there yet? We there yet? Sick Nasty, we there yet? We there yet? Oh, maybe it went through. Off roster. This trade went through. All right, my new team. That means Charbonnet. Let's put JJ here. I like to have these ordered properly. This will be Charbonnet now. So I've got Matthew Stafford, Kyron Williams, Breece Hall, Egbuka, Rice, JJ, Otten, Charbonnet. It's pretty good. What do you guys think? Done deal. Nice job, Sick Nasty. I know Rambo really likes Waddle, but I think it's a good trade. I needed a running back, bro. I mean, Sean Tucker was nice, but I didn't know what that was going to do for me 3 weeks from now. Sick Nasty said he accepted it 3 minutes ago. What's this offer? Outgoing. Oh, that's the one I sent. So I don't know why that one is even there. I don't even have Tucker anymore. So withdraw that one. And then completed. Rejected. Look at some of these offers that I get. Let's see here. This is the last one you sent me, Sig Nasty. Not to blast it. I'm just wanting to see. Waller, Waddle, Stafford for Chase Brown and Rice. Or this isn't Sig Nasty. This is Collusion. Collusion wasn't even trying to take me to dinner. He was just trying to rake me over the coals. Okay, so E111 says I fleeced Sick Nasty. Rambo says I gave up too much. Brian H says I gave up too much. Like, make up your minds. Is it close or is it not? It sounds like people think I got ripped off or I ripped them off. There's no in between. I think it was good for my team. It was good for my team. I needed a running back, too. This is last week. So I have Stafford, Kyron, Breece Hall, Egbuka, Rashee Rice, JJ, Charbonnet. Pretty good team. And I'm going up. What's beautiful about this is Sick Nasty and I are probably going up against each other. The loser in the toilet bowl is going to get knocked down to the Moon Man League. I don't know how I'm in the toilet bowl with this team, though. It's really depressing. Granted, I had to wait on Rice for a while. But JJ hasn't pulled his weight. Rice I had to wait on forever. Egbuka's been amazing all year, but then he got injured, and then he had a bad game this week. But I won this week anyway. Kyron, Breece Hall. I didn't have Kyron all year. But this is a phenomenal team. I like the squad. My bench is meh. I've got Tootin. Dart's not bad. I got Tootin, Kyler on IR. I could just cut him. Got an open bench spot. I think this team's pretty good. But what's great is that we're going against each other and we just did a trade. That's interdivision right there. That's like the Cardinals trading with the Niners. And they're both, let's say they both were fighting for a playoff spot. Chad says, I personally love the way you explain the waivers rather than you explain just a post. Thank you. I believe in what I'm doing with the waivers. I know some people want it a certain way because maybe you're used to other shows doing it. But I believe doing the waivers this way is smart. Like, we're working through it together. Maybe the problem is the people that watch only the replay, they look at this and they're like, what? But they're fast forwarding to it. If you watch it all play out, I think it's a really good way to attack waivers because we're thinking it all out. All right, Sick Nasty, great job on the trade, my man. Proud of you, pal. Sorry, Travis, if we didn't get a deal done. I pictured Travis. I pictured Travis holding his iPad and just wanting to do a trade, but then he's like, "Well, what the hell did you just do? Now I can't trade with you." But actually, Travis, we got more players to maybe move around now. Travis is probably thinking about it. Here comes Sick Nasty, just doing a trade like me, just like not even thinking about it. Let's just do it. We're playing each other in the toilet bowl to see who gets kicked out of the league, but let's just do it. Travis is running equations and experiments on whether the trade's going to go through. Sick Nasty and I are eating a slice of pizza on our chest on a plate, laying down, and we're like, eh. Travis has got biology like goggles on, and he's mixing potions, testing air temperature for each opponent. You snooze, you lose, Travis. But come get Breece Hall, Travis. He's available. He's amazing. All right, see you all later. Appreciate you. And then I had another super chat from Rhino. I saw Hendy and McBride get traded for Pacheco in my main league. Anything can happen. Absolutely insane, bro. Definitely no collusion either. Wild, says Rhino. Rhino, thank you for the $5 hauler. Rhino, you still there? Thank you, Rhino. See you all tomorrow. Appreciate every single one of you. You guys absolutely rock. Appreciate you.